We're lucky she's still alive, because when we arrived at accident emergency, when we'd had the blood test done at our local hospital, they said it was absolutely, she was in a critical state. My name is Alison. I'm mum to Georgina, who is now 20 years old and was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia on the 3rd of January this year. Sent Georgina back off to university in autumn 2019. She seemed absolutely fine. About a month into term, she developed a sort of a flu-y, coldy thing. Didn't think anything of it, although it seemed to persist. And for the first time ever, she got a chest infection. Was prescribed antibiotics for that. Seemed to clear up. Then she was well for a couple of weeks, and then she became suddenly very ill again, high fever, flu-like symptoms, possible chest infection symptoms. I mean, she was actually starting to go to hospital by taxi in the middle of the night. She was so unwell. Nobody seemed to know what there didn't seem to be any questions about the underlying cause of this. And so I went to fetch her from university a few weeks before the end of term, because I was getting really worried, and brought her back home. And we attended the local GPs throughout like the first half of December, fairly regularly. Then she started developing symptoms of breathlessness, a pounding in her head. She was looking quite pale, and at that point I thought she was looking like she was anemic. So I phoned our local doctors, who wrote out a blood test form. This was around the middle of December. And she went for a blood test on New Year's Eve at the local hospital in Hertfordshire. And they phoned us up New Year's Eve and said, you have to go straight to accident emergency. She is dangerously ill. When we arrived at accident emergency, having been phoned with the blood test results, and she was put straight on a trolley, rushed into a room, and they immediately cannulated her and were taking blood samples out of the other arm within about a minute of arrival. So I think we knew at that point that this was, they were really panicking when they saw what state she was in. But then, I mean, we were in A&E probably for nearly 2 days, actually. And it was only after that, when she'd had enough bloods and she'd stabilised a bit, that they could move her to a critical care. And it was when she was moved there that the haematologist came to see her and started talking about the fact that they'd ruled out viral causes of the blood counts, etc., and the less sinister things, I suppose. And so now she said to Georgina, we're now looking for abnormal cells. When we were told they were looking for abnormal cells, and I'd explained to Georgina that meant cancer. When you say the word cancer, it does start to become quite real.